in my mind, and eventually you have reached there where I wanted to put my question is about this postmodern world, about this synthetic world, about this world of new mechanisms of discourse tools. Uh, I have I have always had a conviction that fiction is going to be a major tool of change in the global world. Now we call it in the globalization, in the era of globalization. I feel that novel could be used as an instrument to bring a greater humanistic change on the globe planet. The first phase of globalization, however, was taken over by market economy. But now, when I stand here in 2025, I see film. When I look at past 80 years, film has emerged as a tool far more powerful and far more effective than the word written on paper and printed. Novel itself is a film that takes place in your mind while you are reading it, but film being a visual art, it holds a greater niche. But we see the same thing that you illustrated with the pen, the same thing, film that could be used as creating a general awareness regarding humanity, regarding this class differentiation, regarding this exploitation, imperialism, whatever you tag it as, colonialism or postmodernism or post-colonialism or globalization. This was taken over by, again, the power structures. We see Cold War being won by the US of A with the help of Hollywood. If there wasn't that propaganda movies like Bond series, like Rambo series, like Rocky series, it would have been a very difficult task for the US of A for coming out in the unipolar world. So now we see a parallel world of film emerging in the world. Parallel cinema has emerged in the form of Netflix, in the form of internet cinema. And before getting too optimistic, I have a disease of optimism. Before getting too optimistic about it, the same institutions with a new name, with the new faces, have started directing these institutions as well. My simple question is, can film and this print new form of electronic media used as a tool on the second level, as a tool of awakening, calling a general awakeness of the world on egalitarian, on whether on the principles of fraternity. Secondly, uh, can we still rely, is this book going to be replaced because now our students or kids prefer watching a movie based on the novel rather than studying that novel as well? Third question on a very lighter note. Where
So, let me start. So, my PhD is about art and politics, okay? So, my PhD is about art and activism, for instance. I wasn't talking about it, but now I think I can I can disclose it. Thank you. And my PhD is about how come the image or the image in literature or cinema, whatever, can be an act of politics also. So for me, any author, any artist are a political human being. It's a political being. So every time you write, or every time you film, or every time you photograph, you are making a statement. If you're not ethic, you're not an artist. Okay, aesthetics and artists always mingle. You have to put it together to be a good artist. Like uh, for me, that's why I study philosophy, because aesthetics. You don't make, sorry, a pretty book. No, it's not pretty. Even a politics statement can be beautiful, but it's not pretty. If you make a pretty painting, it's not it's not art. It's something else. I can tell you at my studies. I don't know if you know a French director. His name is Jean-Luc Godard. Jean-Luc Godard, after the independence of Mozambique, went to Mozambique and came to Africa. And after the independences, he was teaching people to create television, the national television of Mozambique, because he wasn't teaching how to deal with the instruments or to deal with the camera or with the microphone. He was not saying anything about it. What he was saying is you have to create your own representation, your own image, because in Africa there's a lot of stories, oral tradition that has to be put on television so everybody can see it. The world must need, there's a need of putting every stories of your ancestors on television, on cinema, on literature, right? So the tool of art are the most important tool for me. We've been discussing that. Uh, every time a war happens, every time a conflict emerge, the books are on fire, the authors are being taken to prison. Why? We have that power, right? And someone called it the soft power, but that's huge because it's all about your identity. It's all about what you are in the essence, right? Because literature, arts reflects all about your society, all about your thoughts, right? I was saying I've been with this girl for 10 years, right? 10 years living with me. But I know that girl is a Portuguese girl or a girl, a little child, and all over the place. I wanted to write like she's not just Portuguese. She's from whatever Ukraine, from United States, from Brazil. She's a child, but I really wanted to represent that thought of a little child. So uh, literature is all about it. It's all what you want to represent and to leave to the world. Uh, and the third,
Movie, the one about the film, medium of film.
and the film. Oh, what about film? So there was an important a philosopher in Portugal called Lourenço. Eduardo Lourenço. He was a very important philosopher, and he wrote a lot. And he talked about, for instance, United States doesn't have a story, like a history like we have. You have thousands and thousands of years of history, North America. So cinema was made to build the myths of the history of the United States. They didn't have heroes. They didn't have any kind of history like in Portugal. So cinema was a narrative to build that myth, the myth of the West, the myth of the great whatever, and the burglar even. And cinema is that. Cinema, it's that's why Jean-Luc Godard went to Africa to tell people because visual arts are easier. You see first, right, and you read after. You see first, and then you listen, right? So the instinct of seeing it's much easier than science, just that. But the thing that worries me more now, it's not cinema even. For me, it's social media because I read about a study, a recent study that the students in a university, a huge university, weren't able now to finish a book. Just finish a book because they read the first pages and they weren't able to finish the book because your attention is so high, so where, I don't know where, because you are always, the kids are always, I don't know how to say, scrolling, that's it, scrolling all the videos. And that's so important for people like you, journalists, still going and please read. And you know how to say what to say about a good book, right? You just have to pull the curiosity from the people, right? That's how you work as a journalist. Pull the curiosity of it, right? So thank you for yours.
Was, there's a lot of answers have been already given. So can I request Ambassador Mr. Federico Silva to conclude the session and say a few words about the discussion and all that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My very few words are of gratitude. It's a privilege being like we we are today. I'm talking on my feelings, about my feelings, and just exchanging about so many important things. Because when we talk about one thing or another, we are always talking about life, about our life, about it. And my gratitude to the institution, Academy of Letters, and Dr. Najiba, and Director General Sultan, that have been always so friendly, cooperative. We are doing interesting things, and I hope we will continue doing it. And to all of you, it was one of the best moments of the very full program of my compatriot Teresa Nicolau. She arrived 10 days ago.
Yeah.
10 days ago, and indeed we have been in Lahore for days. We did a lot of visits to social communication. We've been in the PTV, in the APP. She did several interviews with Islamabad Post, with Nation, with other that now I don't remember. We had events and sessions with the Aga Khan Cultural Service. She has been part of the Literary Festival in Lahore. We also visit several universities, NUST in Islamabad, Southeast University in Lahore, and tomorrow it will be the last moment of this very full program with an interaction with a secondary school called Roots Millennium. So it has been very full, but indeed, and it's true, I feel that on my side at least, leaving this room after the end of this session, I'm leaving richer. And that's because of you. Thank you very much.
And can I request Dr. Najiba to say a word of thanks?
Thank you very much, Dr. Rashid Farid. This is indeed a great pleasure and honor for me to have hosted my dear guest, dear Teresa Nicola and Ambassador Frederick de Selva. And I'm also really grateful to all of you who are here, especially Dr. Wasima Shahzad, Major Raza Izzat Sahab, who is also a very knowledgeable person, very well informed, and he has a great respect for literature and culture. And he has taken time to spare some of his precious moments with us. I'm grateful to our colleagues who are here. Ma'am Zinat Ziad, she has come here for the first time. We welcome you, ma'am. We are really honored to have you with us. Imdad Akash Saab is a very senior writer and he is here with us. Thank you, Imdad Akash Saab, Ridwan Hafiz Saab, Hamza Saab, Iqbal Afkar Saab, Munir Fayaz Saab, and our dear friends, Madam Farheen Chaudhry Sahiba and Farida Hafiz Sahiba, and all of you. I'm really grateful for sparing your precious time, and I'm really grateful for this very engaging session. The questions which were asked were so enthusiastic and insightful, and it showed that how people of Pakistan really want to interact with the nations who are far away, but we have historical ties with them, and we have some cultural ties as well, because in the language of Urdu we speak so many Portuguese words which are a part of Urdu now. Other than Vasco da Gama, we have other linguistic ties and cultural ties as well. And thank you very much, Ambassador Saab, Mr. Ambassador, Your Excellency. We are really grateful. You have always been very kind. Last year, you visited us with with a renowned novelist, Mr. Pashuto, who was here in Pakistan, and we have translated one of his novels into Urdu as well, and we are going to present some copies of these novels as well. So this insightful session has been really proof of the fact that people in Pakistan are enthusiastic and they want to know about the other cultures and the people and the literature. We have talked about literature, we have talked about history, we have talked about art and culture and societies and politics. So quantity doesn't matter. It has proved that quality is the thing which matters. So we have people who are really of substance. Thank you once again to all of you, and we hope that we will continue this relationship with the embassy of Portugal in future as well. Thank you very much.
And